I've started. I thought I'd hit start a little bit early today. Make sure I'm up and running. Well, it says 8 o'clock on my computer, so it's 8 o'clock somewhere. It's 8 o'clock here. Here we are, Makers Monday number 14. That means we've done this 14 weeks in a row. So, hoping everyone's finding their way in. We have a demo tonight, once everyone gets in here, and a few things to talk about in the midst of August. Today is the 10th, Paper Pumpkin Day. I'm hoping people are finding it. Nobody here yet. Come on in, everybody. We're going to be working with a new stamp set and some old techniques and tools that maybe are new to you. I had fun using them. So, hooray! Someone's found their way in. Hello, Sarah. First one here. There's Shirley. Share this. Tag people that should be here. Show me some love. Put a like in there. Shirley, were you at the zoo today? I think I have plans to go on Thursday. Or maybe Wednesday. Wednesday, I have plans to go Wednesday. I see you watching, Sarah. So who else is supposed to be in here? Go find them and tag them. I think Barbara wanted to come in. If someone can, oh, you're going Saturday. Oh, you're brave. That's a busy day. If anyone has Reggie's information to tag her, she wanted to watch and she thought she'd have trouble finding us. Yeah, it is hard to plan our schedules around what we want to do, isn't it, Shirley? I think I'd spend more than one day a week at the zoo if I could. Of course, it's a zoo around here sometime. But yeah, where is everybody? Give them a tag, give them a like, share this. We're going to get started. I don't want to wait too long. Like I said, when I was talking to myself, this is Makers Monday number 14. And I'm just happy that we like to come together and we like to do this. Thank you very much. Today, let's see, we're kind of, hi Janetta, nice to see you. Welcome in. We're kind of winding a little bit down or maybe winding up with the excitement of last week because we had the new catalog, the new mini catalog, plus we had the new website. If you haven't been on the new website yet, go take a look and see. But I can officially open this week. Thank you for tagging people, Shirley. So yes, so I can show things in the catalog now, which I couldn't do last week because it hadn't gone live. It didn't go live till Tuesday. So, and what do you think? Who's been on the new website? I know I've been on the new website. What do you think? More intuitive? If you haven't been on, you need to go on. It's just a little brighter. Might need to find some things differently. I'll talk about that later when I talk about Paper Pumpkin. But so far, I'm pleased with what I've seen on the website. So there are 2 easier ways to shop now with me. I have my own web link. So there's an anytime shop and there's a shop button on my page. Or if we're working and shopping within a workshop with a host code, now I have a link for that. You no longer have to copy and paste it. You can click the host code link and it'll take you right to the website and you're shopping in there without having to enter that number in, which is one less step to worry about when all we want to do is shop anyway, right, girls? So that's what went on. Give me your thoughts about the what your favorites are in the new catalog and with the new website. I want to share with you today, before we go down for the demo, I'm going to be demoing embossing paste, colored embossing paste with glitter on it, or not with glitter, but with embossing glitter, gold embossing powder. Anyway, it looks like glitter. Everything looks like glitter some days. And then we're also going to do some spritzing with the masking. So I'll spend most of the time with it turned down. But just I was going to show you really quick. These are the cards I was working on. We talked about the colors. While I was working on this the other day, I mentioned the color swatches I was working with. So I chose these colors to work with today. Two of these are the two new in colors. Hi, Tanya. I love snowflakes, Tanya. Anytime. But this is Bumblebee, the Bumblebee yellow or orangey yellow. This is Cinnamon Cider, which looks just like the little puppy that lives next door, right, Tanya? Barley. And this is Cajun Craze. So these three colors I used together, both with the embossing pastes and the cards I was making. So I turned these and my favorite new stamp set and a favorite new punch into these. And I looked in the catalog and kind of saw a card and went from that to create these. And you didn't see this one right here. It's just the cutest, sweetest trees with leaves. And this is one of the distinctive stamp sets. But we're going to talk about, see, if you notice, this is the background, the yellow background here is what's embossed. It's got the colored Cajun Craze or cinnamon. I can't remember what color I put in it now. I think that's got the Cajun Craze in it. So not the brown. So it's got the kind of the burnt red color. So, and then I use those word wishes. Hi, Terry. Welcome in. You got to go tag Sharon and Cindy. So I decided this might look good with a happy Thanksgiving since it's got the fall stuff. And I love trees and I love birds. You know I love birds. Look at the little cute little birds. Just adorable. So this is, we'll be working with this today. Hi, Cheryl. Come on in. This was the stamp set that was created from. And I fell in love. It takes me forever to buy stamp sets. I mark them, I like them, I wish list them. I just bought this one. Because, like, that's my kind of tree. I grew up drawing trees like that, where you come from the bottom of the trunk and you draw up. Just love it. Oh, you're not late, Terry. We haven't even turned the camera down yet. Come on in here. But this is called a distinctive stamp. And if you look in the catalog, some of them say distinctive. Well, what does that mean? That means that there's layers in the stamp that give you more dimension. And I'll show you what I mean. Here's a little sample of part of that tree. And if you really look at it, you can see the lines in the trunk. So that's the distinctive part. And also, it really shows up in the little leaves. If you look at these little leaves, even those tiny leaves, if you can see that, within there, you can see the veins of the leaves. And these are just tiny little leaves. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. So this is the stamp set that these cards were made with. We're just about to turn the camera down, so nobody's late yet. But this is what I did with the colors that I showed you the color challenge over the weekend, girls. So this is the Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider, and Bumblebee Yellow Orange. So, and one more thing I'll show you is, like I said, I love the stamp set. So that's where they came from. And also there's a punch. So this was the stamp set on page 51. So there it is in the new catalog. I'm just showing it because I can this week. I couldn't do it last week. So, but also in there's a favorite punch I like. So if you look at this where I embossed the word hello, and this is from the stamp set too, that really nice type font there. But that little flag that the hello is on, my sentiment is on, that's made with a new punch. And it's called the Banner Punch. Banner's Pick a Punch. And I think I've talked about this before, that in the catalog, don't mind my little notes everywhere, if you see that 10% symbol, that's certain things all the time you save money because they're in a bundle. And and this is the punch. And so often I think, oh, I can just trim a tag and get the two little things to be the right length or right size so they look good. No, by the time I'm done, I go from a 3-inch tag to a 1-inch tag because I've had to cut it that many times. You don't have to guess if you get this punch. This punch has two different well, you can make 6 different sizes in this. So there's channels in here. So you can take pieces of paper that are 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, or an inch. And I got 3 of them here. And you can slide them right into this punch. And then you can either do an innie or an outie with your tag. So we've seen the innie on the card, which I lost. Hold on. Over here. So there's the one where the little sides come in on each side. So let's punch an outie. Let's go over here so that it goes the other way. So you just cut this to 3/4. You just slide it right in. Right in there. Are we open? We're open. So you can look at the back too. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see up in there. You can make sure you're lined in. If you're one of the smaller sizes, that's wise to do. If you're the larger size, you don't need to. And then you just punch. And ta-da! There's your outie. And then you can do the other side. And you can cut this shorter to get the size you want, but in you go. So I'll make another punch. Boop. So you got it. So, and you can make, like I said, you can do 3/4, 1/2 inch, or inch. Ooh, you have the lovely labels punch? Oh, cool. So, and that's, I think that was in the annual catalog, right? I think Tanya has that one too. Or maybe Tanya has this one. We forget. We were discussing that today. But anyway, any tool like this that's an everyday tool is always a wise purchase. And I didn't have one like that. I had a smaller punch that did just a specific, but this gives you options to do all kinds of things. So I think this is definitely worth the value. And this is in the new catalog as well, that I've now thrown on the floor, but it's down here. So, but anyway, without further ado, why don't we turn down and get started with the demo? Because I've even lost, oh, here it goes. There was the papers that we talked about, our colors. But here, let's get these guys out of the way. And that, and now we're good. Let's turn down and do our demo. Hang on, everybody. Let's get us, get the tools gone. And switch, and switch. Okay. And we will go down. I've got a lot of stuff here. And then a lot of times people turn their cameras down and they have this wonderful, beautiful, empty area. Well, I thought, no, we're going to have everything in there. Let me check to make sure that we're seeing what we're supposed to, girls. Sorry about that. Talk amongst yourself for a second. Got to make sure. Okay. There we go. Looks like we're almost done here. Okay, looks like it. Hold on. Let's make it so we can't hear me talk. Okay. Let's see. Can we go this way with the table? Yeah, that's better. So then we're more in the picture. All right, so we don't need that. So we were going to do today, we talked about the embossing paste and how we're going to, I'll go this way a little bit more. We're going to do some coloring of the embossing paste with the masks or stencils to create some background designs. Now, on the card, the background design that was embossed is the part that was here. So I took the Cajun Craze, and I mixed it in with the white embossing paste to get the color I wanted, and then applied it, and then heat dried it with the heating tool. You can let it air dry, but if you use the heat tool, it makes it puff a lot more. Let me show you a couple more examples. This one I did just to show you what the color looked like on white. So this is the Cajun Craze mixed with the white paste. And here's a few more of the ones. This was just a rough sample. I'll use that somehow. Or actually, if anyone wants one of these, say so in the comments and which one you like, and I'll send you something. This one, I didn't do the center because obviously I was on the card. I've got something covering that. So I was just conserving my paste that I had made. So those were the ones that were all made with the white paste mixed with the Cajun Craze ink. And when you're mixing, I showed you the ink colors. I showed you the paper with the colors. These are the reinkers. And these are all available in the ink section in the back of the catalog, in the tool section. I think I'm almost on that page. It's page 142 and 143. But these were those three colors again. And then I could just squeeze out a drop of these to either make a spritz coloring or to put into the paste to use it. So, and I used the Cajun Craze in that. So if you'd like one of those, let me know. I also experimented a little more, and I took the white paste just as white paste, and I put it through the mask or the stencil, and right after it went through, I took a bunch of the gold embossing powder, and I sprinkled it over the white embossing paste. And if you can see, I hope you can see, that it really, really puffed up. So there's just one each of these. So if someone would like one, say so. But I'm looking forward to trying to do something down the road with this kind. I had never done that before. I've never colored the paste, and I had never put the gold or silver on top of it. I did do, if you remember, some silver embossing paste another time, but this looks a lot differently. This is just a smooth silver embossing paste instead of the glittery, glimmery silver and gold powders that are in the catalog. So I know some of you do this kind of stuff. Tanya, you use a lot of powders. You've used embossing a lot, so you might be able to speak to doing that. I'm sure, Mary, you've done some as well. But any of these, anyone would like, say so. Say which one. These were the stencils and masks. We have 4 of them right now. They come in a pack of 4. They're on page 146. And they're called Basic Pattern Decorative Masks. And this is also the same page where you'll find the Versamark ink, which is used with the embossing powders, where you'll find the embossing pastes, and where you'll also find the tools, the palette tools that are used with the embossing paste. And you'll see those in a minute. I'll demo them. So, and the heat tool. And these are the different powders up here. So everything you need, 146. And I'll have everything in the comments afterwards. But I'd like to show, since I can, where all that came from. And afterwards, it's not hard to clean these. Haha, I cleaned them so well I took the coloring right off. But there's the one that looks like the leaves, which I used on that car we just did. This is the one I did with the silver. And you just wash them off with water afterwards. And for some reason, I was using a little scrubber, and the next thing I knew, I took off the coloring. And there's another one that looks like trees. I'm going to use that one with a spritzer after we do this first one. And the fourth one, because you get 4, and they're like, I don't know, $6 or $8. Such an affordable tool. The next one here is this polka dot one. And I need to make a little a baby card for somebody, a baby congratulations. And I thought it would be really cute. I don't know where my paper's gone. But to make a card that has the polka dots on it. So I need to get my piece of paper. So hold tight. Well, I don't know where it's gone, but this would work. Haha. Unless I put it in here. Best laid plans. No, this is for the next one I'm working on. Okay. Let's go ahead and use this since I have it here. So you want to have this, I'm going to do a complete design, full. So some people use washi tape underneath it. Some people don't, to hold it. And I want something so I can see, because my background is white. So I didn't do this ahead of time. I'm going rogue here. I've made stuff, but I didn't practice. So I find some people tape their paper like this with some washi tape to the back of here. I might put one piece on just to hold it. I have found it's hard to get that kind of tape off after when you're working with stuff, but just for safety's sake, I'll put one little piece there. And then I put the color underneath so I could see where that is, where the edge of my paper is. So, can you see what I'm doing? Yes, I think you can. The blue didn't move. That's inconvenient. Can you hear me? I can't see you if you're saying no, so. All right, so what you want to do, and let me get a little bit of a wet, I have a thing of water on the floor here. The thing with embossing paste is it's not hard to clean. Just keep some water nearby so that you're not without a way to clean it. So, and I got a little bit of a wet paper towel there. But, so I've got the ink I want to use. This is the Magenta Madness. It's one of the new in colors. And you just get a little bit. Now keep in mind, once you've mixed this, you're not putting it back in. So when you're thinking, it's kind of like whipped cream, or like a stiff icing for a cookie or a cake. But you're going to put the color in here, and then you're not going to be able to, you'll have to store it in something else or just not make too much. So you kind of want to guesstimate how much you're going to need. And you'll get better at guesstimating that. But so you just get some of this out with your palette knife. And like I said, there's a bunch of those palette knives in the back of the catalog. So, and then that's probably more than I need. So, but for sakes of doing this demo, I think I'll just make sure I have enough. In fact, I can put some of that back. And it keeps pretty good in there. But you're not going to be able to put the pink back in. You can have if you've saved little jars of glitter or embossing powders that are empty, you could use that to store ones you've mixed up. This is probably more than I need, but I don't want to remix. So honestly, all you need is like 1 drop or 2 at the most, depending on how bright you want your color to be. So I just put 2 little drops in there. And then just mix it up like you're making frosting, colored frosting. Look at that beautiful color. That's Magenta Madness, one of the new in colors for this year. It might be, oh, how pretty. Might be brighter than I need, but we'll just go with it. So I mix it up. And then just start spreading it. You just want to get an even coat. Doesn't take much. It doesn't need to be thick. You end up taking it off after. So just start, you can see where your edge is there. And since we're just making a complete coating, if it's not mixed totally, don't worry about it. And get some more. And then you just keep scraping down, and you can, as you scrape down, it'll come with you. Just move it around. It's kind of fun. I mean, I have friends that are all these Mod Podge crafty, always have a different wreath on their door. I'm not really one of those. I really haven't considered myself that sort of funky crafter typey person. But this makes me feel like that. So, makes me feel like I can do almost anything. Careful, that could be dangerous, right, ladies? So as you see, all my holes are filling in there at the bottom. I'm almost done. I got to do a little more, and I have plenty of paste. So, sadly, this will go to waste. But I don't know if I can let that go to waste. I may have to go grab another card, ladies. Hold on. So this one is done. I'm not going to heat emboss this one now, though. If I heat embossed it, it would really pop. I need to get that. Okay. Just as long as you got the excess off. And then when you lift it up, look at your little pokey dots. Isn't that cute? Just be careful when you lift it off. That's why I'm not sure I like tape. That you get it straight like that. So, and there you go. So I guess if I had saran wrap, I could cover that, not to waste it, but or another piece of white paper, but I do not. So at any rate, I'm not going to use that again. Let's put that one down. And we're not going to need this again. So let's just, it's a shame to waste that, man. That's the frugal in me. I don't need this. Let's get this out of the way. So I don't get anything. Okay, and this will, like I said, I do have, if you had your heat tool now, and I don't have a way to plug it in, but you could plug in and blow until it gets dry. But that noise is obnoxious when you're on video, so I'm not going to do that. So say goodbye to our pretty polka dots. If someone would like pretty pink polka dots, let me know. I will send some to you. And we'll get that out of the way. Okay, so let's set this. What am I going to do with this now? That's killing me to waste that, but we'll just put it down here. Maybe if I leave it on the wet paper towel, it'll work later. I'll let you know. I'll get back to you on that concept. Haha. As long as I don't get it on something else, right? All right. Now, the other thing I want to show you is, let me get a wet paper towel. We're going to do a little spritz with some alcohol in one of the spritzers. And the spritzers are in the tool area in the back. And you just wipe this off. It'll come right off. As long as you got water and it's not hardened. And if it hardens, you can actually pick it off. So it's not the end of the world if it hardens either. So it's pretty easy to deal with. So we'll use this. We won't need actually that anymore. That can go down in. But I want to use this in the background. This is the silicone craft sheet. And this is in the back of the catalog. It's tricky to find. I think you might be able to look it up in the index. I will list all these things, but this is good for all kinds of stuff. So just try not to get it on the white carpet underneath my little... I usually work in the kitchen area on a big glass table just to be safe. But I wasn't going to broadcast the live for the rest of the family to hear. So, but I mean, it cleans up that easy. And normally I would just throw this in, but since I want to use it for the next thing we're doing. I didn't make a card with this, but I did make a bunch of the samples. So that's just my backdrop. Make sure my paste is closed and my ink so I don't spill it. All right, like I said, if you wanted any of those things. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the 4 stencils or masks, as they call them, that comes with that, is this tree mask. So, or tree stencil. So I'd like to use this next. And what we're going to do is we're going to spray with alcohol, because alcohol dries faster, and a little bit of the ink. And here's the little trees I made, the little backgrounds. So if anybody wants a little tree background, I think this was, I want to say it's Sahara, no, I have to look at what color I used. I thought it was Sahara sand. I got so busy today I didn't write down everything. So if anyone would like one of these for a backdrop, let me know. I think I want to try the next one with this direction. So that's what we're going to do right now. So go ahead and put this behind. This is cut, I believe, at 5 1/4 by 4. So it's a background for a card. I'm just going to set that over top. I'm going to be spritzing, so I don't want to get it too much on everything. And it's not going to move on me. The only problem with spritzing is you might get underneath. The thing to remember when you're going to spritz, pick out your ink. There's the ink color. What was it? Soft suede. I knew it wasn't Sahara sand. Soft suede is a little more brown. Sahara sand to me is a little more gray. Wouldn't you say, Mary? Tanya, do you have those colors? Terry? I'm not sure if you have Sahara soft suede or Sahara sand. But I think they come in pack of 3s. This is a different style, but Stampin' Up! Right now, they're a little longer and taller, but we had the spritzers. And what I did was, this is, I think, 8 drops, 8 or 9 drops of the soft suede. And this was full. And you should use alcohol because it dries faster. And the highest percentage you can, but it's hard to find the 91%. You can use 70% too. I've seen some people using water, but that takes too long to dry. And then your paper gets more warped. So it's good to use the alcohol. So, and that's what I have in the spritzer. So then all you do is a little, make sure you shook up and just spritz. Try not to get the curtains hanging on the wall, Laura. Like I said, it's going to go a little, so make sure you're somewhere where that's not a problem. So I think I may have gotten a little bit on my table. Not too much. So, and then just really carefully lift up your stencil, because it might even have some, yeah, there we go. I might have did a little too much that time. I got carried away with the sounds of spritzing, because it'll be a little more bloppy. So if you did a little less, it wouldn't, but it'll dry a little more exact. And then you have, doesn't smell that good though, all the alcohol, but it see how fast it's almost dry, because it's not like water. It just dries almost instantly. So if I done, that was a little watery, so depending on what I stamp on top or use on top, or if you do a little less spritzing, it might be a little more defined like that one. So you can play with it and see, or you can do a different design where they're not trees. But that is quick and easy, very quick and easy, a way to do a design. So, and then there's really no cleanup. I'm just going to throw this down in the water. And that's how you use a mask. Let's get this in the water too. I could just wipe that off, but, and we're done. So let me turn us back up. I think I showed everything that was supposed to be shown when we were down. Yeah. The only thing I didn't show was this ribbon, but I can see what you thought, because I can't see what you're saying right now. So let's get us back up here. All right. There we go. Yay, there's still people here. What'd you think? You can't find any alcohol. I think you're meaning the isopropyl alcohol or alcohol to drink. That's a big bottle. If anyone has a small bottle, I could probably spare about 8 ounces. If anybody needs some, let me know. I guess it is a problem. I remember Tanya saying that she couldn't find alcohol in the store. It is tricky right now. I'm trying to find Clorox wipes and I'm having a hard time. And there's another product I want to get that I see people use when they're sponging, and they use glycerin. So I haven't figured that. It just makes it smoother when you're trying to sponge the ink. So I need to explore that too. If I find glycerin, I'll let you ladies know. I know a lot of ladies in UK use it, so it must be easier to find over there. So I'm not traveling to UK to find anything right now, though. I'm staying here. So I will keep my eye out for alcohol, but like I said, if you need some, I've got a lot. Yeah, you had a friend with some, Tanya. I've still got quite a bit. I'm sure I could spare a couple small bottles of 8 ounces if I could find them. Maybe some of those little travel bottles that you get from Dollar Tree. So maybe that'll be part of our next. If you make some in a spritzer, can you keep it for later? I think so. Cake decorating department has glycerin, Mary? I'm glad you found toilet paper, Shirley. That would be a real crisis. We would all come help you. We would rally around you. From a safe distance, of course. So if any of you wanted any of the background papers, let me know. And I can send that out to you all. Also, today is the 10th. Who knows what the 10th is? In Stamping Up language. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Thank you, Mary. I wondered where that was. Another reason to go back into Michael's. Sorry about that. Got a tickle. I've had one all afternoon. But today's the 10th. So what does it mean when it's the 10th? Stamping Up, ladies. When it's the 10th, that means it's the last day to get on board the pumpkin train. If you want a paper pumpkin, the 10th of every month is when you have to say, okay, I need to put in my order or whatever. So today's the day. So you don't want to miss out. Remember, this paper pumpkin is 9 cards. 9 cards. I think they're size A2. And they're the ones that are celebrating world's greatest everybody, I guess. And the colors will be Bumblebee Gold. Ooh, I bet you they'll have some gold adhesive type things cut out. They usually do. Mint Macaron, which is a really neat color. Pacific Point, which we all love. Soft Suede and White. Yep, paper pumpkins. So yes, if you're not, or if your paper pumpkin has lapsed, Mary, I think yours has. Donna, I think yours might have. You might want to go, after we finish watching here, and go ahead and put in your order. I talked about that earlier, ladies, that there's the 2 new links for ordering. I have all that on my webpage. So, oh, and don't forget, we're into August. And I know some of you, Mary, you probably already used yours. And I know Rebecca is not watching tonight because she's got something on Mondays now. I think she used hers. But if you earned a bonus days coupon, Tanya, I think I'm talking to you. If you used a bonus days, if you earned one in July, you need to use it in August. So you have till the 31st. And you know, you have to enter each code that you got and copy and paste it from the email. So make sure that you use up your bonus days coupons before the end of the month. So, and I think that's it. What'd you think? What'd you think of the demo? Has anyone used the colored, mixed colors in the paste before? I just have a lot of fun doing that. And it's really quick. It's a really quick way to do a background. The code is case sensitive on your bonus days? Yeah, I think it is. That's why they tell you just to copy and paste it. I'm the worst at typing in codes anyway. I can't even type in my... I get my fingers going too fast on the keyboard if I'm on my computer. So... Oh, thanks, Mary. But, yeah, so make sure you do that. Get on board for Paper Pumpkin. Next week, what would you like to see me do next week? I haven't figured it out yet. I was thinking I might play with, I might play with the Stamparatus, because I haven't played with that in a while. Oh, and as we're all thinking about using up our bonus codes, I will tell you that we're maybe halfway. We talked about that when we have the link that links with the host code, that adds up. And if it gets up to a certain amount, I can turn it into a mystery thing where we've got enough for it to be a workshop. So that's always running in the background. I talked about this, I think on my page or in the group. I probably talked about it in our Stamping Sisters group. So that's why we have the two different ways to order. If we're collectively ordering under that host code and it gets to the right amount, I can say, hey, look, guys, we're high enough to be a mystery host code, and then we can start it as a workshop. So keep an eye out on that, because that code, I think, is good through the 18th. So if we're reaching that some point this week, I will be letting everybody know. So, but it all just depends. I don't like to push. I'm not a pushy salesperson, so get what you need. Ask me for help. That's what I'm here for. And if you'd like to see me do something next week, let me know. But for now, I think I'm going to say that we're going to work on the Stamparatus, just to play with that again. It's been a while. And I want to thank you all for coming in for Makers Monday number 14. I wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So I want everybody to stay safe. Have fun till I see you next week. If I'm sending you a sample, or if I sent you a sample, make something and show us. I really love everything everyone's been making, by the way. Cindy and Terry, I love that you guys got together and made all those cards. Sarah, you shared a whole bunch. Oh, here comes Sharon. Hey, Sharon, we're ending, but we're glad you showed up. It's so nice to see you, though. But yeah, keep creating, keep making cards, keep sharing them. Sharon, you're going to have to watch us afterwards because we've all been here for a while. Oh, you're in Florida. I forgot. Oh, that's right. Sunny, hot Florida. And you're probably all masked up. Stay safe down there, Sharon. Take it off, everybody. Have a great week. Make some cards and share them. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming in.